Hi guys, Ro from Ro's Kitchen here. I want to show you how to cut up a watermelon. I mean, it's really easy. I'm not really going to teach you how to cut up a watermelon. I'm just going to show you how I cut up my watermelon. But what I really wanted to talk about is, what do you do with a whole watermelon when you're one person? I understand watermelon lasts 3 to 4 days once it's cut up, so I came up with a plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the watermelon first. I'll show you how I'm doing that. Everybody has their own way, and there's some really fancy ways out there on YouTube that surpass my understanding. But I am going to first start with cutting off the ends. So I cut off one end, as you can see, it's now off there. And then I'll cut off the other end. And I do a sawing motion when I cut. I don't like do this, I do this, okay? Sawing motion. So I got the two ends cut off. And this way I can stand it up if I want to. The other rule of thumb that I always do, because one of the reasons I don't do watermelon is because it's so messy. And I buy it in the containers already done, and I realized I'm paying $5 for a container that I could pay $6 and get, 5 containers or 4. So I always use a half sheet pan, because this way everything stays contained and it's just a good rinse. So I don't have to worry about juice all over the counter and pits and seeds, although I think this might be, I'm hoping this is seedless. Yeah, it is, it's seedless. I didn't really pay attention when I bought the watermelon. And I cannot give you a tip on how to pick out a good watermelon. Sorry, that's just not my forte. So I do the best I can with picking out a watermelon. I do use a very large serrated knife, as you can see. See those serrated edges? Yeah. And I saw through one side, and then I'll saw through the other side, and then I love the sound of the crack. Listen. Isn't that cool? I love that. Just like I like my sizzle sound when I'm sauteing. All right, so now, oh, and I have to tell you, it smells so good. All right, so now we have these two pieces, and I'm going to switch over to an aerial view for you so you don't have to continually look at me. So you see my two halves, and I'm now going to ditch the serrated knife, and I'm going to come up with more of a chef knife. And for me, I'm going to score it first. Makes it easy for me. And then I'm just going to kind of go along the edges. Be very careful. I know you shouldn't have a knife go towards you, but with my years of experience and all my boo-boos, I just say, oh well, that's the way it goes. So, and I'll start with the ends and see if I can just pull them up. Doesn't that look good? Let's take a taste, okay? It's sweet, but it has been sitting out, has not been refrigerated yet, and I prefer cold watermelon. So I'm just going to cube it and throw it in dishes. Now I'm putting it in 2 different dishes because I'm going to, well, I don't want it all in one dish because I don't want all that juice getting into the bottom of one dish. And I'll tell you why I do that. I don't like, by the way, I just dropped a piece on the floor and Roscoe ate it. I'm telling you, he's a fruit and vegetable fanatic, that dog. All right. So, oh, I was starting to say about the juice. So I don't like when watermelon sits in its own juice for too long. To me, it gets mushy, and there's nothing worse than mushy, to me, nothing worse than mushy watermelon. Switching knives again. I think my chef's knife was too big. So, I'm not going to cut it too small, just small enough to fit in the bowl. The other thing you can do, of course, if you're doing this for a party or for company, which I don't have too often, is, of course, you can use a melon ball or ice cream scoop, really. It's really an ice cream scoop. You can call it whatever you want. But so I'm going to go ahead and cut this all up. Then I'm going to tell you some of the things I do with watermelon. Actually, only 2 things I do with watermelon. All right, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So let's get this all cut up first. So I finished cutting the 1/2, and then I decided to make it easy on myself and cut these into wedges, and that made it easy to also to clean the shells out. Found out the dogs absolutely love watermelon. Who would have thought, right? So one of the things I did, I already cut half up. As you can see, I only had this half left. So what I did with the juice from the 1/2 that I cut, and there wasn't a whole lot. And actually, this is cleaner than I thought it would be, to be honest with you. So maybe this is, you know, it is just the beginning of watermelon season too. You got to remember that. So, but anyway, so what I was starting to tell you is I took the juice and I just poured it into my Vitamix because, yes, I'm going to make watermelon juice. I love watermelon juice, and it's so easy, and so we're going to have a glass of watermelon juice here in just a moment. But this is not my favorite thing to do, but came to my attention that this was the most cost-efficient thing to do. So, see these white pieces here? Believe it or not, they're going to the dogs. They love it. So I am starting to put this in the Vitamix, and you can use a blender. You don't need anything super strong because it's soft. It's just juice. It's just going to be juice. So, and it's very soft watermelon, obviously. It's not like we're doing rice or anything heavy duty. Oh, the dog's going to have a field day. Look at that nice piece they get. Oh boy. So as you can see, I'm throwing a bunch into my Vitamix, and in a couple minutes we'll make some watermelon juice, and it smells delicious. It smells juicy and yummy. The other thing that I do is I take my watermelon when I'm done with it, so it doesn't, I turn it upside down and I let it drain in the sink. So those pieces are in the sink right now, and they will try to hopefully dry out the rinds a little bit more, so when I put them in the trash, in their own separate trash bag, by the way, because I don't want the smell of watermelon for the week before the trash goes out. And being one person, I only use 1 trash bag a week, and so don't need this there mucking up the works, you know. So we're almost done cutting up all this watermelon. I really thought this would work, having 2 bowls and a Vitamix, but I can only drink so much at one time. So I hope you're all having a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. This is what I'm doing with my Memorial Day weekend. I'm cutting up watermelon, but believe it or not, just for me. I'm not going to a picnic, not sharing. No offense, people. I would share if I could. It's my sister's birthday this weekend, so we are going to do her favorite thing, and I have to admit, I like it too. And we are going to, okay, upside down in the sink. We are going to go shopping at some, we're going to go like to some little towns. She likes to go like tootle around little towns and hit the boutiques and the little shops. So that's what I'll be doing. When I get to the bottom, I like to take a spoon and just scoop out the pieces on the end all the way down to the bottom. I think it's so much easier. So I'll save all those little pieces. They're good. They're perfect in a drink. The other thing, if you didn't know, I just read about this too, so I'm no genius, is that you can freeze watermelon. Of course, when you freeze it, you can't eat it after that. Then you definitely want to put it in a drink. So let me wash my hands and then let's make a drink to celebrate the hard work I just did. Okay, so I now have my watermelon chunks in here. I added a few ice cubes, just a handful, and normally I wouldn't add that many because the watermelon is room temperature, is why I added so many. So now I'm going to go ahead and put it on my Vitamix, and we will blend it all down. And then wait till you see the nice juice that we make. Here, let me get a glass out while I'm still thinking about it. Okay, got a glass, gonna put it in there. think I don't hear an ice cube, turn it off. No, don't want soup yet. Although I have to tell you, I did make watermelon soup once, but it was a cold watermelon soup, like a gazpacho, but with watermelon. That came out great, but that was like, geez, 100 years ago. Don't even ask me for the recipe. I don't remember what I did with it. I'm sure we could find one if we needed it. All right, so here is my watermelon juice. Ooh, doesn't that look good? Let's take a sip. Look at that. And it's really good for you. Remember, watermelon is, I believe, 92 or 93% water, so it's really good for you. Oh my gosh, that's perfect, perfect. So guess what? I think I'll be having watermelon juice a couple days this week, and then I'll have watermelon for snacks. I'm gonna eat that whole watermelon. I don't think I'll freeze it, but no, second thought, you know what? I think I will freeze some, and this way they could be my ice cubes. Smart, huh? Okay. Well, it was great seeing you again. Thank you so much for tuning into Rose Kitchen, in my new kitchen. Okay, guys, love you. Keep watching. Thank you so much for your time. Love it.